welcome to my channel, welcome to John's Model Making. Today we have Spitfire issues 67 and 68. Now I do have 69 and 70, but I'll be doing that on a separate video. But today we do know what 67 is. It's a rotation motor. There we go. So that's what will be fitting to this bracket. We'll also have a look at the interior of the magazine, a look at the stories. And issue 68, excitedly, yeah, see what it is. It's the frame for the tail section. Brilliant. It's fantastic. That is metal, that. I've not had it out yet, but we'll test fit it afterwards and pop it in place. And also have a look at the magazine. Anyway, let's get on with the build. Okie doke. So, first of all, we'll have a look. Well, we'll do the parts first, I think, because it's pretty straightforward. Fitting a second rotation motor. Parts checklist: 1 rotation motor, 1 cable label, 3 PM screws. I mean, how many more cables and labels, or labels, do we need to put on cables? This must be the last one. There we go, that's not too bad. There we go, 3 PM screws, 1 label, cable, motor. Now obviously we can't test this motor with what we already have, but we can put a label on it. Whoopie-doo. There we go. Put it as close to connector as possible. Nearly perfect. There we go. And all we need to do is attach it to this bracket. Now I believe it goes on just there, like so, with the cable facing the inside. And we just need the screws to attach it. There we go, straight out of the bag. I am using a PH00 screwdriver for this little task. There we go, let's get a good picture in camera, I should say. That's the first screw, nicely put away. And there is a second one. Start that up again. Excellent. That is work complete. Now we can test fit it. Pop that in there. Pop that in there. Pull that through. I don't want to pull too much on these cables, because you just never know. And there we go. That should be it. Support it from underneath. You're going to press down. There we go. Obviously that cable doesn't go there, but that is that in place. Splendid stuff. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. Can't get better than that, can we? That is issue 67 complete. Now I know these issues are quick, but these are quality parts. 3 motors here, elevators, rudder, PCB will go here eventually when we get it. There you can see, just here. Obviously we've got the cockpit to put in place, which will go here, like so. There we are. Excellent stuff. Really coming along. Wait till we get that tail section fitted. Lovely jubbly. Right. Oops. Right, time to have a look at the magazine. Here we have training the RAF, technical skills and bravery. And here we have a few models. This is identifying Axis forces, Italian and German aircraft, and comparing them obviously with British aircraft and American aircraft. This is all part of the learning process for the air crew and technical staff. The RAF witnessed an enormous expansion during World War II in 1939. Bomber Command alone had about 350 effective long-range bombers, but by 1945 this number had grown to 1,500 aircraft. By 1945 there were 1,208,000 personnel in the RAF, including 185,000 aircrew. Brilliant stuff. And here we have Polish fighting team. In the spring of 1943, a handful of veteran Polish Spitfire pilots were sent to North Africa to gain experience in combined Army Air Force operations in preparation for the invasion of Western Europe. And they were so happy to do so. And here we have one of the fighter aces, Eugeniusz Horbaczewski. He was born in Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, on 28th September 1917, but grew in Brest-Litovsk, which was then part of the Second Polish Republic. One of the highest scoring Polish aces of World War II, Eugeniusz Horbaczewski claimed 11 of his 16.5 victories in the Spitfire. Excellent stuff. And here we have German secret missions. This article will tell you how they landed secret agents in Britain, which were subsequently captured, turned into double agents, and then obviously the Germans will have found out about that, and they captured American and British aircraft in different ways and used them against the Allies. Even dressed them up with German insignia. The story goes into a lot more depth than that. Wolf in sheep's clothing, as you can see here. Captured Spitfires, lots of captured aircraft. And there we have a continuation of the story. And in the next issue we have issue 68, your next set of parts, upright and horizontal supports for the tailplane together with screws. Excellent stuff. Now here we have issue 68. Starting work on the tailplane. Here we go, look at this. We get the frame for the tailplane. Brilliant. Those are the instructions, and then we can move on to the stories. Newspapers, keeping the public informed. There was a couple of popular newspapers at the time. The People was one of them. Newspapers were a major source of information for the British people in 1939. The News of the World and the People, two of the most popular Sunday newspapers, had a combined circulation of almost 7 million copies in 1939. During World War II, newspapers continued to play a major role in people's daily lives. Journalists type up their stories. The government's Ministry of Information gave scant help to the British press until 1941. Probably hiding all the bad news at the time because there was a lot of that, which is understandable. You've got to keep morale up. Well, the next page, dueling over Darwin, number 54 Squadron, defending Australia from the Japanese. That again is an excellent article. Number 453 Squadron, aside from a brief spell flying Buffalo 1 fighters in the ill-fated defence of Singapore, number 453 Squadron of the Royal Australian Air Force was equipped exclusively with Spitfires. There's a Buffalo. Sink the Tirpitz. Now, there was a battleship that did need sinking. Even though it didn't actually hinder convoys a great deal itself, it did influence some of the convoys to be sunk by U-boats and other craft from the German Navy, just because of its so-called reputation, and it took a lot of aircraft combat missions before it was actually capsized later on in the war, though it was kept out of harm's way for quite a long time in the Norwegian fjords. It goes on to tell you about all everything that happened with it. And there we go, issue 69. Your next set of parts: tail, wheel, strut and bracket, wheel parts and a pivot pin. Brill. Okie dokie, let's get on with issue 68 and fit these parts. So here we have these, there we go, little screws, just get rid of them. There we go, that is metal, that's always that. Excellent stuff. So what have we got? 6801 upright rudder support, 6802 horizontal tail plane frame, and 9 PM2 4mm screws, 1 spur. Excellent. We don't know, we need the plane back. So the cockpit off, we'll need that. Up. There we go. Now we can take this off for now, just so it doesn't get in the way. Pop that there. And first of all, we need 6801, which is this little beauty, and basically it will pop in here, sit in there and in there, and if you put it in like that, see that, like that, it should, there we go, drop in, and then we just need to fit 2 screws here and 2 on this side. Excellent stuff. And we only have the PM screws in this pack, so let's get them out. Get the right screwdriver. Right, let's see. First of all, I'm going to pop in 2 screws here and here. Oops, it is easy. Careful, Johnny. This is getting to its full size now. Now support it underneath, and the sides just grip the fuselage, stop any adverse movement. And what I'll do now, I shall turn this around, slide them in. See them 2 screws here and here, and we need 2 on the other side, same place. Obviously don't exert any downward pressure, and wherever you can feel the pressure, just support it back so the plane doesn't take it. There we go. That is that tail section in place. Now we do need the other section. Here we have the other section here, like so. That basically goes there like that, and we have 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. So let's get them in place. Same screws again, PM. Again, be careful with the downward pressure. finally see the full length of this plane now. Obviously it will go a little bit longer once we get the rudder parts in place, because obviously this is just the internal frame. There we go. Excellent stuff. One spare screw which we'll never need. There we go. So look at that. Brilliant. There you can see the screws that were fitted here and here, and here and here, and the bracket goes here with the motors. Lovely jubbly. Doesn't she look fantastic? And there she is. Excellent stuff. That is 67 and 68 complete. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's issue 67 and 68 complete. That plane, I'm talking about that plane. The plane, she looks brilliant. There we go, side view. So we can more or less see the full length of her now. Fantastic. Obviously it was straightforward again today. It's look good when we put the tail landing wheel on, and the rest of the tail section. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Now I have been asked by somebody who's watched my videos what parts, I should say what tools I use during my build. It's got a couple of screwdrivers. That's a PHOO and a PHO. These are Wera screwdrivers, W-E-R-A. Get them off Amazon, that's where I bought them. Pair of sprue cutters, which I didn't need today, but you will need them. Blade. There I have got a scalpel. The only time I've ever had to need this is scrape off any excess paint, like on the flaps, or anywhere else that you might think isn't operating as best possible. They're always very, very handy. Sometimes a toothpick for applying glue, or even a little metal, looks like it's a pin actually, metal pin I use for applying glue as well. And tweezers, any set of tweezers, but obviously a decent set. You don't want any old rubbish. And the glue, I've used this glue. That's from the range. It only cost £1. You can also use super glue. There we are. Yeah, glue it, ultra gel. Very, very handy. I think that's basically it for this build, except sometimes you might need a little rubber band. And I know some people use clamps for the flaps. I've actually used pegs, clothes pegs, just do exactly the same job. I've also got a clamp on my magnifying glass. I'm going to quickly show you that. That's a daisy. There we go. There we go. That also comes in handy. Anything to keep anything in place when you're gluing it, basically. But if you want to buy some clamps, you can buy them off Amazon as well. I know other fellow builders use them. I've used pegs. They're just as good. They've got a spring, and obviously like wooden pegs. Well, even the plastic pegs got a bit of rubber on them, so they're not going to damage any paintwork. They give sufficient cushioning to the parts. But that is about it, really. for the parts. There we go. Anyway, issues 67, 68 are complete. I hope you enjoyed looking at the magazines as well. I always do. I've more or less read the stories, not completely, but I will be doing later on. They are so fascinating, so much history in there. It's brilliant to read. But anyway, besides all that, I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you soon with 69 and 70, maybe week after next. But until then, thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, bye for now.